Hey, good morning, good evening, and good day. I said that I would record a quick video showing how to set up your first MekHQ game. As I'm sure we all know, when we install MegaMek, we get 3 different links. We want MekHQ. When this window pops up, we're going to hit New Campaign. It'll load up all of the data, which hopefully will go a bit quicker this time. It's going to default to this new player preset. It tells you what the difference is. I'm going to select the veteran player preset and then go through the customize campaign settings. I will say it's a good idea to go and read through all of these different ones. Everything's got tooltips, but I'm going to cover a couple of the basic things that I think it's worth looking at. First, let's name our unit. Let's pick which faction. I'm going to go mercenary because I'm of mercenary mind. I'm also going to select our start date. It defaults to the Ill-Clan era, but I like playing a little bit earlier, so I'm going to go with 4th Succession War. There we go. You can choose your custom camos here. Let's go with... I like orange and white. Human resources covers XP, people, your human resources, funnily enough. Advancement is XP, awards, all that kind of thing for your people. You can, in one of these, I believe it's this randomization tab here, you can set what skills it gives people. This can be good if you're really getting annoyed with getting a bunch of ultra green recruits. All of these can be changed mid-campaign, by the way, so feel free to start with everything turned off and turn things on as you go. It won't affect your campaign at all. What I want to go here into is logistics, because auto logistics keeps you stocked up on various consumables and stuff. I'm just going to set this one to 50. Last patch they didn't have the weapon restock, but now they do, and that is fantastic. Tech limits is another one to go and look at. Maximum tech level. If you set this to introductory, you will never find high-tech stuff. I go unofficial because I've got some non-canon refits. If you enable canon tech purchases and canon refits, any of your custom stuff won't show up. And disallow purchasing of extinct tech will make it so that you can never buy things after the date that they have in their items page that item is extinct. If you have it off, as it is by default, it will let you buy Star League era tech during the Succession Wars, but it is at a penalty. But if your logisticians are good enough, you can find anything. I'm going to turn off taxes because I don't believe in paying them. And then I'm going to hit apply settings, and it's going to start our campaign. When the campaign first starts, you start on Galatea in the time period you chose with absolutely nothing. My hangar is empty, my personnel list is empty. You can set this all up manually by going into finances, turning on GM mode, adding a transaction to give you money, all that jazz. But there is an easier way. The easier way is to go to Manage Campaign, Quick Start Company Generator. This will pause for a second, then it'll open up this lovely little window. Here you can pick how many lances you want, how many mechs are in a lance, if you want any lances that aren't part of a company, and how many companies you want. If you click Generate Company Command Lance, it'll generate another lance outside of the company that is extra. But let's not go with any of that. Specified faction lets you pick a faction that isn't your campaign faction. So if I want this to run a generator specifically as if I was, let's just say somebody interesting, Taurians, always. When I come down here to BattleMech faction generation method, I can pick specified faction, and it will use that one I've selected there. Origin faction is the origin faction of the person it's hiring, and campaign faction is the one you selected when you started the campaign. If we keep scrolling down here, You may want to check the generate mothballed spare units if you expect to be losing a few units at the beginning. This will just get you some spares early on. However, note that you are, by default, paying for everything. And where it picks how much money is this. If you click random, it'll roll, in this case, 18d6, and times that by 1,000,000, and that's how much money you've got. Again, wonderful tooltips. It will then keep at least your starting float left. If I scroll up, we can see forced naming method. I prefer Greek alphabet. And there's a whole heap of stuff here. This is your support personnel. It'll make sure it hires 12 mech techs, 1 doctor, 1 of each command. At the moment, the quick company generator doesn't support anything but mechs, as far as I know. Happy to be corrected on that. If I hit, at the moment, generate and apply both do exactly the same thing. So we're just going to hit generate, and it's now going to tell me about all of the people that have simulated interactions for 5 months, it looks. So we're going to have a number of pregnancies. I'm just going to click these. They're all randomized. It then assigns any awards, and we are now have a company. If I go to our TO&E, we can see Alpha Company. We can see that I've got my 3 Lancers of Alpha Company, but we don't have a contract yet. If you want to come and customize your people, you can turn on GM mode. You can come in and edit them. For example, I want this person to be other. I want them to be Kimberly. I could edit their skills, but that sounds like cheating. I can then come here and hit randomization, give me a random portrait. There we go. If I now go to the marketplace, I can go to the contract market. By default, there'll be a bunch of contracts here. However, they were generally generated based on you not having a company, so some of these may be quite poor value. Is it going to actually show me how much they're worth? There we go. So yeah, losing 4 million on the contract, not something I recommend doing. These skulls, each half a skull is about 20% of your force, so this indicates that they will have 20% more forces than I do on the enemy side. This is dynamic, so it can change mid-campaign. Let's have a look here. This one's got 80% straight support. I want some salvage rights. That one looks pretty good. Oh, 30% exchange though. I can try renegotiating that, and unfortunately they are very bad at negotiating apparently. But I can do that on every individual contract and hope for the best. Oh, this one's not bad. Integrated, it's less of a trap than it used to be. In integrated, you don't pick your fights, or you don't have to find your fights, but you still get to pick who goes on them. If I can't get it renegotiated, I'm going to find one that is house. Oh, I don't like that either. All of these are so very bad. I need to hire better negotiators. Ugh. What's the point of being a mercenary if you don't get salvage? If you go through these and find that you don't like any of them, you can just wait a month. It'll regenerate new ones. I'm, for the purpose of this demonstration, going to just take this one. The support isn't too bad, and I'm going to leave it there. It's a 6-month contract. You can see the breakdown of costs. But I'm going to hit accept here, and we are going to be told that if we have cargo carriers like flatbed trucks, they estimate we'll need 16 tons of carrying space to do our own convoys. If you do your own convoys, you get more stuff from your employer. It's then going to prompt us if we want to mothball our units before we go for a fly. I'm going to say yes. And now it prompts, do you want to immediately start the trip? If you hit no here, as it says, you will need to go and manually hit calculate jump path and begin transit. I'm going to hit accept. If I come back to our command center, I can see it's going to take us 103 days, so I will hit the magical advance multiple day button, type in 102, and start advancement. And at some point, this will update. Oh, I've not got that on screen. There we go, it's updated. We're now half a day from the planet. I'll hit advanced day so that we land. Oh, and look, they're already offering us a supply delivery. I don't have any transports by default, so I have to hit refuse. And that's really odd. I think it's bugged out. I'm just going to ignore that. Have I lost a pilot already? I have somehow already lost a pilot. Ain't that fun. I'm just going to quickly check the personnel market. There is no one there, so I'm just going to hire a random schlub. Korea. Yeah. Oh, they're not good. They're really bad, actually. It do be that way sometimes. They get the trebuchet and the command lance. That's special for them. Anyway, go to the briefing room. We can see the general breakdown of our mission. It's a planetary assault. That's going to make things a bit interesting. It's got a breakdown of your combat roles, how support points work, all that. On the subject of combat roles, you can see here that my contract requires that I have at least one force deployed and at least one frontline. So, Alpha Lance, you're my heaviest one. I'm going to put you as frontline. I need to have scouts, so I'm going to put that one as patrol. And I will put that as maneuver, because they get bonuses to reinforce. As you can see, we have no missions. What we need to do is go over to area of operations. We get this lovely little hex map. And we can see our objectives on the right hand side here. We need to locate and capture or destroy the facility. And we need to find a hostile force in this sector and defeat them. Now, we don't have any encounters. That's because we need to do some scouting. If I right click on this hex and go manage deployment, I get this lovely little window which lets me pick the forces based on how I've deployed them. You want to have a patrol group because patrols reconnoiter a 2 hex wide circle instead of just the hex you send them to. So if I hit confirm here, we'll see we've already found someone. We can see down in the bottom here, we expect the hostile BV to be 12,000 BV. I don't really like fair fights, so that's a bit concerning to me, but we can see that we've got 5,000 BV of allies. The terrain is hot sea jungle, so that's going to be interesting. If I now manage deployment on this, I can say I want to deploy my frontline force. It will then show me the scenario setup wizard. Frontline commanders get special bonuses. None of them are in effect at the moment. So I'm just going to hit commit on that, and you can see Alpha Lance is there. I can now right click on it again and select manage reinforcements. So lets me pick the other forces that are currently in my company. I'll hit Gamma Lance because they are my maneuver company. If I hit commit, it will prompt me, hey, here's what the test is to reinforce. This is not a good sign, but I'm going to hit reinforce anyway. Oh no, my reinforcements have been intercepted as well. That is fun. Now, briefing room. We can see that there are now actually 2 fights here. We're going to go and do this one, my Gamma Lance versus some honestly really nasty fights. Before I hit start game here, there are 2 things to look at. One, if you go up to file and Mega Mech options, you get this window that I'm sure we're all familiar with, where you set your game options. If you set them here, they will automatically be set for every single match you do. So I like playing with double blind on, so I'm just going to turn all these fun settings that I enjoy on. I'm going to go into ground movement and go no movement penalty for night or fog, because that one just annoys me. I'm going to turn on where's careful stand, because I like my mechs being able to stand up. And I can also go to my allowed units and equipment. We can double check that everything here is how I set it initially and hit OK. Now, when I click here and I hit start game, oh, this is new. We can see our transmission about what the mission is. Our objective: get free by destroying at least 50% of the enemy forces. You can also see a more detailed one down here. Commence drop. This will then start up our well-known MekHQ client, which I've got to move onto the screen. It'll show our forces and their forces and all that fun stuff, but it should already be configured exactly how you had it. Hit I'm done, and it'll show us our game. I'm sure everybody knows how to do it from here, so I'm actually just going to exit out of this one and show another little fun thing. We now have an auto resolve. If I click that, I can go, I want Princess Auto Resolve. We'll bring up this little window. As soon as I hit ready, it will start simulating the battle. Doing this time in the interest of getting to the after combat screen rather than having to necessarily do it all myself. This is a little bit quicker than watching me play probably 13 rounds of Battletech. Oh, it's not going well. Oh, it's really not going well. I'm going to ask my guys to retreat. Please. Oh no. Well, this is a disaster in the making. I'm just going to hit pause game here. Request victory is just like typing /victory in the chat when you're playing. It just ends the fight. As we can see, there's not really a lot of point me watching the remainders of my guys get killed. It'll confirm who gets battlefield control, and it will tell you what the default is. I don't get battlefield control. We can now see that not only is all of my stuff destroyed, but it is in fact a total loss, which is, oh, I somehow cleared the objective. Oh well, we now get our screen to show all the people that have left our company. In this particular case, they have left because they are dead. And the award screen showing congratulations, people getting purple hearts, people getting combat awards. And now this one here isn't ready to go. We can see that the commencement date is the 4th, so I will hit advanced day. That was a particularly bad demonstration. Normally after they come back, they'll appear in your repair bay and you can manage them as you may be familiar with. that pretty much covers everything that is new in the 50 Point X series. I hope you have fun and have a good day.